Grizzlies here at Marvel Park. Labette County had an impressive come-from-behind victory over Towanda Circle in Week 1 as they knocked off the Thunderbirds 40-28. I'm going to turn now to my partner, Tony Fuentes. And Tony, I texted Coach Scheibe and said, what are the keys to win tonight? And I'm just going to run down several of these, and then you can pull out what you want and give me some feedback. Coach Scheibe said he wants his team to keep their emotions in check in this big rivalry game, limit penalties and turnovers, put some pressure on the Grizzlies quarterback who threw for 5 touchdowns last week, and play 4 quarters of physical and disciplined football. Sounds like a recipe for success.
Oh, 100%, Scott. I mean, you can say that all day, but these kids are going to be so amped up. There's been so much talk coming between both schools all week long. I've heard about it off and on from both sides. And, I talked about a little bit last week. Some of these kids are friends, but tonight they're frenemies.
Right.
I mean, even if they're friends, when it gets time for football, they're going to get nasty. And, a lot of times, in a rivalry game like this, there's a lot of talking going out, out there on the field. And a lot of times the refs don't hear that talking, but they see somebody push, and then that's when you get penalized. And, Coach Scheibe talked about, don't get the penalties. I mean, I think we had 4 15-yard penalties last week.
Yep. And at least one of those came from the sideline.
And you can't do that. I mean, if you give free yards to this team that is coming off a win, I mean, you don't want to give them any extra ammo to come down and try to, get an extra first down just because of, a bad call or, a shove or something silly. I mean, we're going to have to be disciplined. These boys have got to understand that they've got to be disciplined, and it's going to be tough for them.
Well, most football games, as we know, are won right at the line of scrimmage. And so I'm going to be very curious to see. I know Coach Scheibe's, the one concern he mentioned to me before the season began was his offensive line, particularly the depth or lack thereof on the offensive line. He thought if his 5 starters could stay healthy, they'd be okay. But I know that was one concern that he mentioned to me. And then, Coach Scheibe talking about getting some pressure on the Grizzly quarterback, Holtzman, who's a big kid.
He is a very big kid.
6'1", listed at 215 pounds. You don't have to play in the NFL or at the high school level or anything. If you've even played a pickup game of football in your backyard and you've had 1 or 2 guys in your face and you're playing quarterback, it makes you make a quick decision and oftentimes a bad decision.
Yep.
And I also talked to Coach Dumas, the defensive coordinator, and he feels very confident that the Vikings secondary is far superior to what Towanda Circle put on the field, but that remains to be seen. And then, what do we know about the Labette County running back, sophomore Jamal Jackson? I know he had a pretty big game last week.
I haven't seen anything on him. I've heard some good things about him. I'm sure he's going to be shifty and probably quick. So it's going to be tough to bring him down. But I just think back to last year. I feel like last year we kind of overlooked Holtzman a little bit.
Yep.
Do you remember those first 2 drives?
Yes.
He was just running the ball just straight ahead, and we couldn't stop. I think they were up 14-0.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty quick.
And then we rallied
2 touchdowns.
back. But I mean, they're going to have to stop him. I mean, if he does something similar to that and then is able to do some play action and throwing, it could be an interesting game. And I can't say enough good things about the Viking offense last week. I want to say Trey Mack was 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think he had an incomplete pass. I mean, a lot of them were shorter passes, but still, just to be that accurate is pretty phenomenal. And he's got some weapons. J.J. Kendrick's quick out there on the edge, and Landon Wheat. I seen Cade Brown in warm-ups. He didn't get a whole lot of snaps on offense last week, but I seen him out there in warm-ups running as a tight end. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put Cade Brown out there on offense tonight. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the offense you got to stop Jamarian Washington too. I mean,
he's a load.
He's a load to take down. So, we've got some playmakers. So it ought to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it should be a great game. There are playmakers on both sides, so it's going to be a big test for both defenses to limit those big plays, those big chunk plays. And I think I'm going to give a slight advantage tonight to the Vikings, but unless the turnover battle is really lopsided one way or another, I just don't see either one of these teams getting a lot of separation tonight.
Yeah, the turnovers were definitely in our favor last week. We talked about it before we went on the air. Mikey Ramsey, 2 pick sixes.
Yep.
I mean, that's basically, Scott, that was his first real varsity game. I mean, he's a sophomore. That's impressive.
Yeah, 135-pound sophomore and 2 pick sixes.
He got that ball and he just took off.
I know at least one of those was due to pressure on the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
100%.
And forced that Prairie View quarterback to make a bad decision. And so we'll see if the Viking defense is up to the task. I think they are. And like I said, Vikings have plenty of playmakers and enough talent to get their second win of the season. Looks like they've been trying to get the national anthem going here for a few minutes, and
nothing going yet.
Nothing going yet.
And I'm not sure if the band knows that they're playing it.
And now we're ready for the national anthem. So we'll step away for a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back for the Grizzlies and the Vikings in their annual rivalry contest. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
At Labette Health, we've earned our place as a top 100 hospital in the nation for joint replacement. Serving a 6-county area since 1961, Labette Health has also earned national recognition as a respected regional medical center renowned for its comprehensive healthcare services and commitment to high-quality patient care. With over 80 physicians and providers throughout southeast Kansas, Labette Health is 100% devoted to medical excellence. For more information or to find a provider near you, call 620-421-4881 or visit LabetteHealth.com.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
And welcome back, everybody, to Marvel Park. Just moments away from getting started with week number 2. The coin toss was won by the Grizzlies. Looks like they have elected to receive. I don't think I've seen that in a while, Tony. Lately, the team that wins will defer till the second half, and I'll never forget the miscommunication down in Galena when the Vikings had to kick off to start both halves. I've never seen that before or since, but
that was a bad deal.
That kind of sums up the back half of the Vikings season last year. Started 5-0 and then got into a really rough patch, just a tough, really a gauntlet. Part of their schedule, and they dropped the last 4, but so the Vikings will be kicking off. They, of course, will be in their home blue and gold. Labette County in their traveling white. Red helmets, red and gold trim. Drew Fuentes will be taking care of our live stream again this evening. Karen Hardesty taking care of everything for us back at the KLKC studios. Viking kickoff team getting some final words of instruction and encouragement, as is the Grizzly return team across the way. It's almost like everything's in slow motion here.
I don't know what's
in the
going
pregame. We had a hard time getting the national anthem up and running, and now the officials are blowing their whistles and saying, hey, let's go ahead and everybody get out on the field.
Yeah, last week, Scott, Jace Quirin had, I think, at least two kickoffs he had to kick off at the 25 because of 15-yard penalties.
Yeah.
And one of them he kicked all the way into the end zone from our own 25.
That's impressive.
And I seen him in warm-ups, Scott. He was hitting them from 53 going this way, heading to the south. So
yeah, that's incredible.
So he's got a leg.
And we are ready for kickoff at Marvel Park. High end-over-end kick. Nice kickoff, going to be fielded at about the 2. And here come the Grizzlies out to the 10, 15, and brought down shy of the 20-yard line, so good job.
Lawrence Holt was on the return there. There's quite a few Vikings on the tackle there.
You know, that was a great kick by Quirin because it not only was it deep, it had a lot of hang time, and it allowed the kickoff team plenty of time to get down there and make a play on the ball.
Anytime the other team starts inside their own 20, that's a pretty good kickoff.
So the Grizzlies have the first possession of the night, 11:53 to go in our first quarter. 1st and 10 for LC from their 18. Holtzman will be in the shotgun as Jackson on his right side puts Holt in motion. It's a running play up the middle. And nice gain, I think just short of the first down. Good play on first down by the Grizzlies.
8 yards, 7 yards.
Let's see where they're going to mark that. I'm going to call it, gain of 8. So 2nd and 2 from the 27. The big senior quarterback, Holtzman, looks over to the sideline.
Got plenty of time on the play clock.
Yeah, they almost always get their play. They all get up to the line of scrimmage and then look over to their head coach. And do we have delay game or false start? Yep.
False start. That's big. Back them up, make a 2nd and long at least.
Yeah, that'll drive coaches crazy. You know, you come out, have a nice play, gain 8 yards on first down, first play of the game, and then get backed up 5 yards. So we'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies. Ball spotted on their own 22. Just over 11 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Grizzlies are going to go with a 2-receiver set, both receivers to the near side. Holtzman takes the snap. Jackson again. This time, Cade Brown got to him first. For no gain, I believe.
Corbin Harris is also right there on that tackle. Called his name a lot last week, Scott. Yeah. Corbin Harris is definitely going to be a good player.
Yep. So Holtzman threw for 5 touchdowns last week against Towanda Circle, and this may be a passing situation right here on 3rd and 7. 4 receivers for the Grizzlies, 2 right, 2 left. Jackson, the lone running back. Holtzman takes the snap. He does want to throw. He's got time, and it's caught for a first down.
Keegan Bates
was thrown slightly behind Bates. He made a nice adjustment. And that's a big play on 3rd and long for the Grizzlies. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 35. 10 minutes to go in our opening quarter.
Yeah, that was a good reception by Bates. Almost 15 yards on that catch there, Scott. And I know Coach Scheibe I heard a little bit of him talking about Bates. He said he's a pretty shifty little guy. He's small, and he finds those holes.
Yep. Holtzman in the pistol. Puts Holt in motion and fakes it to Holt. Instead it's to Jackson. He's into the secondary, and he's got a first down. He's tripped up right at midfield.
Another 15 yards.
So with that one exception, and that nice play by Brown and Harris, it's so far advantage Grizzlies on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're doing just about anything they want.
You know, the Vikings have some playmakers on both sides of the ball, so we'll see if they can force a fumble or get a tipped pass. Holtzman once again in the pistol with Jackson, his lone running back. Takes the snap, gives it to Jackson again over the left side, and this time he only has a yard.
Corbin Harris right there on the stop.
Number 50, Corbin Harris in on the tackle.
So that brings up 2nd and 9 for Labette County. Ball just across midfield on the Vikings' 49-yard line. Grizzlies go with trips to the near side. Xavier Phillips, who had a big week last week, lone receiver to the left side. 4 seconds on the play clock. 1 second, they barely get it off. Run up the middle, nice run by Jackson. He's going to be short of the first down, but still picked up some decent yardage inside the 45, close to the 43. And depending on what happens on this 3rd down play, Tony, it may already be 4-down territory. High school is.
Yeah, Jackson already has 32 yards, Scott.
Yeah, he's a talented running back, and he's just a sophomore. So 3rd and 3 for the Grizzlies. They need to get to the Vikings, right around the Viking 40-yard line for a first down. Holtzman takes the snap. Jackson again, and he's got the first down. Across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Another first down for Labette County. So we'll see if the Viking defense can stiffen. So far, Holtzman has only had to throw 1 pass. Other than that, it's pretty much been the Jamal Jackson show on this drive.
Yeah, he's definitely having his way right now. He's just getting right through the line and just making one little move and picking up 5 or 6 yards easily.
And I'm feeling a play action pass right here, Tony. And Holt in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep, and he is messed up.
That was Caden Berry.
Caden Berry sniffed that out. Viking defense needed that.
Is that a 2-yard loss?
Went back to the 42. Loss. Yeah, lost at 3 on the play. So that'll bring up 2nd and 13. Grizzlies on a long, sustained drive here. They've held the ball for 5.5 minutes. Yeah, so if the Viking defense can come up with a stop here. 2nd and 13. Ball spotted on the Viking 42-yard line. Tied at 0. Holtzman takes the snap. He wants to throw this time. He's under pressure, and he's going to get buried.
That was DeMonte Kendrick, I believe.
Yeah, that was Kendrick. Came in, and, man, it almost –
that's a big loss.
It almost looked like he was untouched. He must have made a heck of a move.
Yeah, that was an 8-yard loss.
Yeah, back to the 50-yard line now, so 3rd and a long ways to go for the Grizzlies. 3rd and about 21. They need to get inside the Viking 30. And again, especially with this being high school football, you know, the Grizzlies might be thinking, hey, we've got two cracks at this. They may just try to pick up about half that yardage right here. Yep. Holtzman wants to throw, looking to the near side, wants to go deep, and it is tipped away, incomplete. Great defense by Smart.
That was great defense there.
I mean, he played that perfectly.
Wow.
If you want to show some elementary and middle school aged kids how to play cornerback, just show them that play.
You know, Scott, we talk about, you know, when you're doing something right and then you change it up, you know, they were just run right down the throat.
Yep.
And then they tried to do a little trick with the jet sweep, backed them up, and then they got a sack. I mean, things like that, almost a blocked punt.
The punt was almost blocked. It's going to be a very short punt, and it takes a Grizzly bounce, but it's still going to be a short punt all in all. rolls dead at the Viking 33 or 34 yard line, and the Viking offense will take the field for the first time tonight. And if the Grizzlies, even though they didn't score, Tony, if one of their goals tonight is to control the clock, they succeeded in that area.
Yeah, that was definitely, I mean, not a bad drive there by Labette County. They were doing just about everything right. Just some of the trickery just didn't work, and it kind of backfired on them.
A couple of big weapons coming to the near side. Landon Wheat and J.J. Kendrick, both great receivers, very fast. Vikings will give it to Washington, though, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Spins forward for a yard. Pretty good effort by Washington. And, you know, Coach Scheibe mentioned, I don't want to say he was worried about it, but just a slight concern about his offensive line. And, that's a lot of times you think about pass protection on that, but it's all up front, too, on that running game. See if they can get some holes popped open for the senior running back, Washington. This time they're going to throw out on the flat to Landon Weed. He's looking for the edge. He's at the 40 and then tripped up at about the 41. So he'll be short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Vikings. 4:37 to go in quarter number 1. Clock stopped. As expected, a packed house at Marvell Park. And perfect night for football. Flag hanging limp right now, and it's about 80 degrees. Will drop down to about 70 by the time this game reaches its conclusion. 3rd and 3 for the Vikings. Trey Mack in the pistol. It's going to be a running play and a first down for Washington over the left side.
About 5 yards on that one. Yep, Jamarin Washington showing his ability to bust through the line there. That was a good pickup there, Scott.
And, he's such a strong kid, hardly goes down on first contact, and just, at least in my mind, surprisingly fast. I don't know how many times last year we saw him get into the open, and nobody could run him down.
Yeah, he's got breakaway speed.
Again, Wheat and Kendrick split to the near side. Fumble, and it is going to be covered up by,
I think Parsons got it.
If Parsons got that, they're very lucky. The Grizzlies say they have it. That sure looked like they should have got it. That just was not a clean handoff at any time, and it is a turnover. And the Grizzlies are going to take over on the Viking 45-yard line. Yeah, you felt like the Vikings offense was clicking here in the early part of this game, but then it was like Mack and Washington just weren't on the same page on that exchange.
Yeah, play clock's already down 19, and they're just now trotting off. So they're going to have to do something quick.
They're going to have to.
They normally look over the sideline for quite a while. They're not going to have that opportunity. They're already down to 9-8. I don't think they even realize it. Under 5.
If they have to look off to the sideline, they're not going to get it off. 1 second, and I guess they made it. Holtzman on that run. You talked about that, Tony, and this time the Vikings.
He got maybe a yard.
At 1 yard to the Viking. I think I said that they were going to take over on the, I may have said 35, but they're on the Vikings 45.
Yep.
And that's a gain of 1 to the Viking 44. But yeah, you're right, Tony. Last year it was Holtzman
just right up the middle.
Right up the gut. Run
just like a bull.
Quarterback keeper over and over again. Grizzlies will send 2 receivers to the near side. I believe Lawrence Holt, the lone receiver, to the far side. Holtzman will put him in motion. There's a snap, fake the jet sweep, and they are ready for Jackson. He is swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Nice pursuit.
I think it's Sam Brewer.
And nice penetration by that Viking defensive line.
Yeah, Sam Brewer was right there. He just swarmed him.
So you get into these passing situations, especially at the high school level, Tony. I mean, it's a chance for a big play on either side of the ball. You could have a long pass play for a touchdown. You could have a pick 6. Vikes had a couple of those last week. Holtzman looking over to the sideline.
Better hurry.
5 seconds on the play clock. 2:49 to go in quarter number 1. We're tied at 0. Holtzman to throw. Going to be under some pressure. Gets it complete.
Oh!
But just
Cade Brown destroyed him.
Cade Brown, that's a perfect word. Destroyed. Was that Holt or Jackson?
I have no idea.
I couldn't see. I didn't even. He got there so fast. Hats off to the receiver for, I believe, hanging on to the ball. I mean, it was for no gain, but that was just
wow.
A massive
Cade
hit.
Brown was just right there.
That's 220 pounds, leveling a much smaller receiver for the Grizzlies.
I think it was Holt.
So 4th and 11. Grizzlies will have to punt.
Oh, block it. Oh!
How was it not blocked? How did they miss it? This is going to be a little bit better punt. It's going to roll dead inside the 25. And I tell you, Tony, the Grizzlies were lucky on that because I would thought the ball was going to be going to the north.
He must have just kicked it around him because he was kind of squared up to the east a little bit, and I think that's what got it. I think he kind of hooked it around the hands because I think if it would have went straight up, I think it would have got blocked.
So the Grizzlies will probably have to make some adjustments on their punts for their protection because the Vikings have been awfully close twice here in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Vikings got away with a little bit. He kind of pushed the punter a little bit.
Yeah, there was a little contact.
After he hit him, but there was no flag. The ref was standing right on top of it.
Again, Wheat and Kendrick to the near side. Toss play to Washington. He's got a little bit of a hole, and he's tripped up at the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. That's going to be a first down for the Vikings.
A lot of talking going on out there. I think Washington just needs to run it and not worry about talking so much. He got in the face of the person that brought him down.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Scheibe was talking about all week was we have to figure out a way to keep our emotions in check. And Tony, you said how the officials might not hear everything, but they'll see the pushes, and a lot of times who gets caught? The second guy. That's not the guy who instigates it, so Vikes have to be careful. 1st and 10 from their own 35, another running play to Washington, and we've got a flag, and that's probably going to negate a pretty nice run by Washington out across the 40. I think it came from the official in the secondary, I thought. And it is holding on the Vikes.
Yeah, that's tough there.
So they will back that up 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 1st and 20.
I do know one change they made at the high school level, like if there used to always be a spot foul on holding, like even if the hold was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it ended up being like a 20-yard penalty, and they've gotten rid of that.
Yeah.
For this season, but now 1st and 20 for the Vikes from their own 25. Trey Mack takes the snap. He wants to throw, and it's going to be caught. And it's going to be about a 5-yard gain out to the 30-yard line. Was it Jamarcus Washington?
I think it was, number 2.
So,
yeah, we didn't call his name much last week.
So Jamarcus with the 5-yard reception brings up 2nd and long for the Vikes. 2nd and 15 from their own 30. Quick moving first quarter, just 35 seconds to go. Clock on the move. Trey Mack looks over the Grizzly defense. Washington moves from the left side of the formation to the right. Empty backfield. Trey Mack looking over the middle, goes deep.
Wow, he's got a guy. Oh! Landon Weed almost pulled that in.
Overthrew him by about half a yard. He got his hands on it.
Wow.
And Landon's a big target out there too. A 6'4", great leaper. Very fast, but now it's a game of inches. Vikings almost had a huge play on 2nd and 15. Now they're facing 3rd and 15. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Still tied at 0. See what Coach Scheibe wants to dial up. Grizzlies look like they might want to bring an extra man. And here he comes. Vikes set up a screen to Washington. He's got a couple of blockers out in front of him. He's at the 40, and he's going to be short of the first down by about half a yard. And I tell you what, I think Coach Scheibe is going to go for it. 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Vikes about 2 feet from a first down. And the offense is going to stay on the field.
Going to be 4th and 1 for the Vikings.
May even see if you can get the Grizzlies to jump off sides here.
Yeah, we gave him the ball at this spot after that fumble, so I think you gotta just go for it.
It's got to be
Trust it.
Washington, doesn't it? Sure enough, and he's caught, wrestled down, and he's going to be short. No gain. I didn't see the Grizzly that jumped in there. They basically wrapped him up right around his head and got him down to the ground. That's hard to do. And it's a turnover on downs. Hats off to the Grizzly defense. And they will once again be starting in Viking territory. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies from the Parsons 44. Just 4.5 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Well, Tony, we thought this game might end up going right down to the end. And so far, these teams look pretty even.
Good defense, really.
Senior quarterback Kendall Holtzman looks over the defense. He wants to throw. He's going to go deep, and it is caught by Phillips on the far side. He's a big target. Xavier Phillips, 6'4", great leaper. And that is how the first quarter ends, with a big play down inside the Viking 25-yard line. So that is the end of quarter number 1. We'll be back with quarter number 2 in 1 minute. This is Viking football on B93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the 4-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information, or visit labette.edu.
As we switch into the field, it's my pleasure to introduce your Parsons Vikings cheerleaders. We have freshman Addie Heplinger, freshman Allison Ramirez, freshman Jocelyn Barajas.
And we're back at Marvel Park, and while we were away, Tony, we saw a flag out on the field. It ended up being an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Vikes.
Coach Scheibe was out there with the refs. I don't know if it was on him or on something. One of the players said something. I don't know what happened, but
So that means the Grizzlies are really in business. 1st and 10 from the Viking 12 as we get ready for quarter number 2.
Senior Keandra Kelly.
Have to think that Jamal Jackson's going to be part of this play. Either going to hand off to Jackson or they'll play action, and it is to Jackson. Nice little sidestep. Made the first man miss, but nice recovery by the Viking defense. And we have a injured Grizzly, possibly a
cramp.
Looks like a cramp. So we're going to go with no gain on that run by Jackson. And while we have a stoppage in play, we want to say thank you to some of our sponsors who are bringing you Viking football in 2023. We want to say thank you to Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, also Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services. Also want to say thank you to Dress for Less, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, Strategic Partners, Roy's Auto Service, Bowen Pharmacy, Parsons Educational Foundation, Parsons District Schools, Snyder Lawn Care, Olson Ace Hardware, and SEK Orthopedic, Doctors Mosier, Meister, and Morris. So, Tony, good defense by the Vikings on that first down play, but they're going to have to do it most likely 3 more times. I don't know what kind of kicking game the Grizzlies have, but I can't imagine this down inside the 15 that they would do anything other than try to punch us into the end zone, especially when they have 3 cracks at it. So unless there's a penalty or something. But I never did get a jersey number on the injured Grizzly.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I didn't either.
Hopefully it's nothing serious. Again, if you're joining us late, we are tied at 0. Just 10 seconds into the second quarter, 11:50 to play before halftime. Grizzlies deep in Viking territory, 2nd and 10 from the Parsons 12. Vikings they've looked okay on offense, Tony. They've ran some good plays. They've moved the ball, just barely missed by half a yard, maybe even a touchdown from Mack to Landon Wheat, but just not clicking on all cylinders yet. So walking off under his own
52.
power, John Broadwell, it looks like. 220-pound junior. So that's good to see him trotting off to the sideline. I think he'll probably be back in the game shortly for the Grizzlies. The Viking defense already back on the field. Meanwhile, the Grizzly offense still huddled up around their head coach.
Normally you don't give him this much time, Scott. I'm not sure. Whitehead is
it's kind of starting to feel like the pregame again when it kind of felt like you just couldn't get anything started. But
that first quarter did go pretty quick, though.
Yes, it did.
With a lot of running plays.
So the Grizzlies facing a 2nd and 10 from the Viking 12. Jackson will be the single running back. Holtzman looks over to the sideline again. Grizzlies trying to break this 0-0 deadlock. Still plenty of time on the play clock. There's the snap. Holtzman to throw, and it's caught at the 5-yard line. Now, one time I thought the Vikes were going to have a crack at that, but instead,
Nolan Nash.
It was Nolan Nash on the reception. So it's 3rd down from the 5. About 3 yards to go. Running play right up the middle. Holtzman falls forward. I think he's short by about a yard, and that will bring up 4th down.
Wow, there's a lot of pushing going on.
So 4th and, what do you think, John? I think it's going to be 4th and 1.
Yep.
Depends on, well, they didn't move.
They didn't move.
There it is.
Man,
Yeah,
moved about an inch.
It's a long one. 4th and about a yard and a half. Ball on the Viking 3.5 yard line. Biggest play of the game so far. Grizzlies trying to punch it in. Holtzman on the quarterback keeper.
I don't know.
He's close to the end zone. He did not get in, but he may have the 1st down. I think he had enough for the 1st down, and that's going to bring up 1st and goal if that's the spot. They may have to measure, Tony. This looks, nope, no measurement needed. They say 1st down. So 1st and goal.
I think they're going to do that 2 more plays if they have to.
I think the ball is just inside the Viking 3-yard line. They didn't need a whole lot of yardage for that 1st down. Now we'll see if the Viking defense can come up with a big play here and get a stop. Tied at 0, 10:15 to go in quarter number 2. Holtzman takes the snap, gives it to Jackson. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward. I don't know if he gained anything or not.
Pretty close to no gain there.
Yeah, we'll call it no gain. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of quarterback sneaks. Clock on the move, 9:45 to go in the second quarter.
It'd be hard to stop him 2 times in a row, or even 3 times in a row if they go for it on 4th.
Yeah, he would essentially have to gain 1 yard
each time
to get in the end zone. He's in the pistol. Holtzman gets the snap. They give it to Jackson again. He gets around 2 guys and dives forward for a Grizzly touchdown. I thought the Vikes were going to get him in the backfield, but Jackson's able to slither through, and it's a 3-yard touchdown run for Jackson, and the Grizzlies strike first. They lead at 6-0, 9:28 to go before halftime. Tony, that unsportsmanlike penalty,
Yeah, that
pretty
definitely
big
hurt.
on that drive.
Not a good thing. We just talked about in the pregame is you can't have them.
And we have a penalty, offsides on the Vikes. And now will the Grizzlies, who had lined up to go for one, this penalty will be half the distance to the goal. They may go for a 2-point conversion. And the Vikings with a couple of untimely penalties here early in the second quarter. Looks like Coach Price says to just go ahead and kick the extra point.
I think it's Nash kicking,
Yep,
right?
Nash is kicking. Bates is the holder. 6-0 Grizzlies. It's a good snap. Kick is away. It's short, but I think it's good. Just barely gets over the upright. So 9:28 to go before halftime. It's LC 7, Parsons 0. We'll be back at the kickoff in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes back with you at Marvel Park. Grizzlies with a relatively short field able to punch it in. And they lead Parsons 7-0, 9:28 to go in the second quarter. And Tony, that really all started when the Vikings went for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory, which I thought was the right call.
Oh, 100%.
And but the Grizzlies made a stand, and then they were given a gift right at the end of the first quarter. 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on the Vikes. Put the ball all the way down to the 12-yard line, and the Grizzlies were able to punch it in. So here we go with the kickoff. Nash has it teed up at the 40. Little pooch kick, and the Vikes fielded at the 35, up to the 40, and across the 45. So good field position for the Vikings.
Mackay ball on the return. Well, they were really trying to punch that ball out, Scott.
Yeah, and that's not a bad strategy because, when you hit a pooch kick like that to one of the up men, they may not be as used to handling the ball. And nice job by the Vikes to hang on to it and give their offense good starting field position on their own 46.
Yeah, Parsons definitely needs to answer that touchdown here and get back on track, get on the board here.
Mack in the pistol, has Washington on his left side, fakes it to Washington. Pass play is incomplete. Kendrick
went upfield, and I think he thought he was going to go on a slant.
I think Mack thought he was maybe going to break to the sideline. He's here again a couple of times now, Tony. One by Wheat, one by Kendrick. Vikings have gotten behind the defense.
Oh, yeah. Kendrick would have been way past. He would have been 10 yards open if he would have just held on just another half a second and then just launched it.
So Wheat and Kendrick will split out wide to the left. 10 seconds on the play clock. Trey Mack takes the snap. It's a running play to Washington coming to the short side of the field. Cuts it up, and he's got a decent gain into Grizzly territory. So 3rd and 4 coming up for the Vikings. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Still think there's some plenty of jawing going on out there, Tony, and then that's just always the case when two rivals meet up, but you never know how much of that chit-chat the refs are going to let go.
So far, we don't really know what the unsportsmanlike was,
right.
But so far they've let a lot of that go because there's been some pushing, and there's been no flags on any of that.
3rd and 5, we'll call it. quick pass play. Kendrick has it for the first down, and he's still on his feet. He may go all the way. Nope, tripped up at the last second at the 25-yard line. Honestly, Tony, I'd have to go back and look on a replay. I thought he had actually stepped out of bounds.
It looked close to it.
But official was right there and let it go. And that was a touchdown saving, kind of a shoestring tackle.
Yeah, he made a good move back to the inside and just, yeah, like you said, just got tripped up or he was gone.
But all the way down to the 25-yard line for the Vikes. 8:08 to go in the second quarter. Grizzlies lead this contest 7-0. Vikes quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Couple of running backs this time for Mack, but he wants to throw. Going to the end zone, and nobody's going to be there. It's going to be incomplete in the deep corner. And Tony, look at all the cars.
Yeah.
South of Marvel Park.
This is the most we've had in this stadium in a long time, Scott.
So the Vikes went for it all on 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 25. Let's see what Coach Scheibe wants to do on 2nd and 10. So far, these teams have looked almost dead even. I think the Vikings are a little bit faster. Trips to the left side for the Vikes, but it's going to be a toss play to Washington. He cuts it upfield to
Might
the
have a first down.
And it's either a first down or just short by the nose of the football. Let's see what they're going to. And I think they marked him short, Tony. I thought he had it as well, but it's going to be just a, we'll call him a foot short.
Is that considered a forward pass since he pitched it forward?
I'll have to look that up at halftime.
It was almost a shovel. It went forward for sure.
So 3rd and less than a yard for the Vikes. 7:12 to go in the first half. Again, Grizzlies on top, 7-0. And the Vikes may have to burn a timeout right here. Yep, Coach Scheibe wants a timeout. They were not going to get that play off. And I believe that's the first timeout burned by the Vikings. 7:03 to go in quarter number 2. Grizzlies lead the Vikes 7-0. We will be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at klkcradio.com.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Big play coming up for the Vikes. About halfway through the second quarter. Grizzlies on top 7-0. Vikes facing a 3rd and 1 from the Grizzly 15. Trey Mack in the pistol. It's going to be a handoff to Washington. Grizzlies were ready for it, but he's going to be churning and yearning and I believe earning a hard-fought first down because he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage and he just would not be denied. He didn't need much. And, Tony, it would take one heck of an effort by the defense to keep Washington from getting, 12 to 18 inches on a run because he's a load.
Yeah, Vikings definitely need to punch this in. No.
Landon Wheat split wide right, but they're going to go to Kendrick. Kendrick looking to make a move, gets around one man. He's inside the 10, down to the 9. They just threw a quick pass out to Kendrick in the flat. And the Vikes inside the 10-yard line. They're in a similar situation to the Grizzlies where they don't have to punch this into the end zone. They still could get another first down.
Yep, you're right.
2nd and 4 for the Vikes. Ball spotted on the Grizzly 9-yard line. LC on top 7-0. Just over 6 minutes to play in our first half. Similar formation with Kendrick and Wheat split wide right. There's the snap. They fake the handoff, and they give it on a little counter, and getting into the end zone for a touchdown.
Tate Phillips.
A little misdirection. Tate Phillips, a 5'10 senior, gets a 9-yard touchdown run, and the Vikes an extra point away from tying this one up with 5:55 to go in quarter number 2.
Tate Phillips had a rushing touchdown last week, Scott, as well.
Yeah, nice design, nice call by
It's kind of
Coach Scheibe.
sneaky there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you feed Washington, and now we have a flag. Boy, I don't know. Definitely not delay a game. We have false start on the Vikes. So hopefully we certainly know that Quirin's leg is strong enough, but
I don't think that's going to hurt us.
Still hate to see penalties starting to add up just a little bit on the Vikes here in quarter number 2. So it'll be Jagger Quirin, the holder. Kick is short, but just like for the Grizzlies, has just enough on it to clear the crossbar, and we are tied at 7 points apiece, 5:55 to go in the first half. We will be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Well, big possession coming up for the LC Grizzlies as the Vikings are able to punch it in for a tying touchdown. We are tied at 7 points apiece. Grizzlies will try to answer. Nice kickoff again by Quirin. It's going to make it all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Wow.
Man, that is a strong leg.
Yeah, 63 yards in the air, Scott. Pretty good.
So the Grizzlies will take over 1st and 10 from the 20. Obviously, the Grizzlies would love to run about 5 minutes and 54 seconds off the clock on this drive and punch it in for a touchdown right before halftime. Meanwhile, Viking defense is going to try to get a 3 and out and give the Vikings a chance to grab the lead before intermission. And that'd be great, Tony, because the Vikes get the kickoff to start the second half. So. Hasn't been a ton of action tonight on the offensive side of things, but both defenses playing well, and both offenses have shown flashes of greatness. They just haven't really been able to put together a lot of sustained drives. Holtzman, the senior quarterback, looks over the Viking defense, puts Bates in motion. We have a flag, and the Vikes were all over that play. They buried Jackson for a loss. And if the flag was on the Grizzlies, then the Vikings will almost certainly decline it. And I think it came at was it right at the snap, Tony, that he threw that?
So if
maybe an illegal formation.
That's a 7-yard loss, Scott.
Yeah, well, we'll be hoping.
I would go for.
I mean, they'll definitely decline it if it's on the Grizzlies. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It is an illegal motion.
Illegal shift is the call on the Grizzlies.
That could be a dead ball. I think you have to take it, though, maybe.
Yeah, they didn't blow their whistle, but they were able to decline it. So.
Vikings are declining that penalty to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's a good deal for the Vikes.
Yep,
all the way around.
16.
Ball backed up to the 14-yard line. So it'll be second down.
I'd
for
rather
the
have
Vikes.
2nd and 16 than
Yeah, because I think that's just a 5-yard penalty, so it would have been 1st and 15 had they taken the penalty. Now we have a stoppage in play. Timeout by the Grizzlies. They want to regroup. That's probably a good job by Coach Price because things kind of blew up on that last play for the Grizzlies, and we'll keep it right here at Marvel Park. And Tony, I was just thinking on the drive out here, you know, we've both seen a lot of Viking Grizzly football games over the years, and you know, I've seen some great games, I've seen some shutouts, I've seen some blowouts on both sides, and you know, I was really hoping for a good, hard-fought, competitive football game tonight. And boy, if this first half is any indication, that's exactly what we're going to have for 4 quarters.
This reminds me of, I don't know what year it was, but I want to say it was on Halloween in probably the early 2000s, and it went down to like it was low scoring, and it was similar to this, just back and forth, just good defense, and this is kind of reminding me of that night.
On 2nd and 16, it's going to be a running play. Looked like an illegal block, but they don't throw the flag. But great pursuit by the Viking defense. I did not.
Cade Brown.
Yeah, was that Cade Brown again?
Yeah.
Goodness, he is all over the field.
Only a gain of about 3, so still 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
You never know what Coach Price is going to dial up, but I can't imagine that he would get overly aggressive deep in their own territory in a tie game. But Holtzman is a seasoned quarterback. I'm sure they'll send somebody long, and if Holtzman thinks he can connect, he'll go for it. And he doesn't want to throw. It looks like he doesn't want to throw deep.
Oh,
he's under pressure. It's going to be a sack.
Wow, that's going to be 4th and almost 20.
So Coach Scheibe talked about getting some pressure on Holtzman, who had just a huge week 1 against Towanda Circle with those 5 touchdown throws. Great job by the Viking defense. There were 3 or 4 guys in on that play. And now the Grizzlies forced to punt from inside their own 5. Vikings should get outstanding field position.
Plenty of time too, Scott. Oh, yeah.
Decent kick. It's going to be picked up at the 40. And a little nifty move to get 5 yards on that return by Jamarcus Washington. So great field position again for the Vikes. They have plenty of time, 4:20 on the clock, 2 timeouts in their hip pocket, so time will not be an issue.
Yeah, they can still take some time, run the ball. Plenty of time to get a score here, Scott.
So they're going to mark the ball on the Grizzly 36, so touchdown here could really give the Vikes some momentum going into the locker room after falling behind 7-0.
Especially getting the ball in the first and second half too. Really turn this game around.
I think Phillips had the touchdown run lined up on the very end, but they're going to give it to Washington. He's caught from behind, and that's a nice defensive play by the Grizzlies. That was Hudson Baker. No wonder Hudson was able to get him. He's 6'8". He's able to use his long legs and long arms.
Yeah, about 2-yard loss on that play.
The clock on the move, 3:50 to go in the first half. Tied at 7 points apiece. See if Coach Scheibe wants to put the ball in the air here on 2nd and 13. Trey Mack looks over the defense, puts Phillips in motion. Wants to throw, and he's got a man open. It's Kendrick. Cuts back. He's got the first down and more down to the 20-yard line. They give J.J. Kendrick a little space, and he is a dangerous receiver.
I think it was about 16-yard pickup by Kendrick there.
Yep, all the way down to
just 21.
Yep, just shy of the 20-yard line. So,
yeah, JJ. I mean, you give him just a little bit of space, Scott. He's going to make you pay, and he just caught that, made a nice little move on, and just got about 4 or 5 yards after the catch. because he was about 1.5 yards short of the first down when he made the catch.
Landon Wheat, J.J. Kendrick come to the right side, and we have a timeout called by the Vikings. They burn their second timeout. 3:32 to go in the first half. Parsons 7, Labette County 7. We'll step away for a 30-second commercial break. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
Back live at Marvell Park, Parsons Vikings getting deep into Labette County territory, almost into the so-called red zone here, just shy of the 20-yard line. We're tied at 7, 3:32 to go in the first half. Trey Mack wants to throw. He's going deep to the end zone for Kendrick, and it's going to be incomplete. Ball sailed about a yard out of the end zone, actually to the sideline. So that one got away from Mack just a bit. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. I'm a little bit surprised they went for the home run on at that time, but they may have just been trying to catch the Grizzlies napping a little bit.
I like the pass in the flat, just make a move and pick up some yards. Sometimes on those, it's almost a 50-50 ball there.
Well, Cade Brown is out on the field, Tony. I don't know if he's just
as a blocker.
I can't tell if he's in there at the tight end position. I've got this big Marvell Park support post right in my way. Rolling to the right is Trey Mack. Throws. It's caught at around the 10-yard line. It's going to be, I think, just shy of the first down. Great grab by Kendrick.
Really
he got hit just about half a second after he made that catch.
Yeah, they're giving it to him, Scott. First down.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be I thought he was going to be just a half a yard short, but they don't even measure. So 1st and 10 for the Vikes from the Grizzly 11. 3:05 to go in the first half. Parsons looking for their first lead of the night. 10 seconds on the play clock. Vikes just now breaking out of the huddle.
Got to go quick. Got less than 5.
Yep, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They do get it off in time. There's that little trap play again, and this time the Grizzlies were ready for it.
Hudson Baker sniffed that one out.
They went to Phillips again, and the Grizzlies.
That's not going to hurt anything, Scott. No, you're just running the clock down.
That's right.
Essentially, should go inside 2 minutes before they run this next play.
Actually, a loss on the play back to the 12-yard line, I believe.
They just need to get something positive here. Even if they pick up, 5 or 6 yards here, to make it very, very easy to score on the next play.
They'll be down to about 2 minutes to go in the half by the time the Vikes snap this ball. 2nd and about 11 for the Vikes. Quick toss play. It's fumbled, and good job by Mack to fall on it at the 15. And now I'm starting.
Incomplete pass. They said it was a forward pass.
So I guess that might answer our question from earlier
about
whether it was technically a run or a pass. So no loss on the play, as it is considered an incomplete pass. And
now that first down play becomes a little bit of a problem.
And now, depending what happens here, Tony, I wonder if we're going to see Mr. Quirin come out for a field goal.
If they throw an incomplete pass here, I have no problem with seeing Jason.
I don't either. Phillips in motion. Mack rolls to the left. Goes over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. And Viking coaching staff wanted a flag, and they're not going to get it.
Yeah, JJ looked like he got hit in the face, but I think it might have been just incidental.
And here comes Quirin for a field goal attempt with 1:50 to go. in the first half. They're going to spot the ball. The holder will have it down at the 19, so this is going to be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Quirin. And I say it all the time, Tony, if we can get a good snap and a good hold, you love Quirin's chances.
Yep.
It's a very good snap. The hold is down, and the kick is going to be wide left.
Hooked it.
Yep, hooked it left. So we remain tied at 7 points apiece. Minute 46 to go in the first half. And I'll be curious to see what Coach Price does, because they're kind of backed up in their own territory.
Yeah, at the 19.
But they have plenty of time. I want to say they have. Looks like they have 2 timeouts left. The Grizzlies do, so they have enough time. They haven't shown any big plays yet, but
yeah.
I know against Towanda they had several. But we'll see how it goes.
They did have a 20-yarder to Xavier Phillips.
Yeah, and he's
late in the first quarter.
He's probably Holtzman's favorite target, especially when they're trying to get a big chunk. There's the snap to Holtzman, rolls to the right, and there is a pass, and it's going to be incomplete. And here comes the flag, and that's going to get the Parsons coaching staff very upset, because they're like, hey, where was the flag when our guy got bumped? I don't disagree with this call. I think there was a hold, and it's probably going to be technically pass interference. Yeah, pass interference, not a spot foul at the high school level. I think they're going to mark off 15 yards. And they're putting it.
They started on the 20, so
probably up to the 35-yard line, if we're doing our math right.
Yep.
So that's a 15-yard pickup for the Grizzlies with virtually no time off the clock. Minute 41. Still tied at 7. Grizzlies 1st and 10 from their own 35. Holtzman gets over the defense, puts one man in motion, and they fake the jet sweep. Then a nice hole for Jackson. He's still on his feet. He has a first down close to midfield. That's kind of how the game started, Tony, on their first play from scrimmage. Boy, it sure looked like the Vikes were going to have some momentum going into the locker room. I actually thought they would punch that in for a touchdown, Tony. Instead, they came up empty-handed.
Now if LC could go down and put anything on the board, it would be devastating.
Running play. Vikings cover this one up. Jackson stopped for a loss of a yard.
Jackson off the ball carrier once again, brought down by several Vikings on the play.
Minute 10 to go in the first half. 2nd and 11 for the Grizzlies. Ball spotted on the LC 46-yard line. And now Grizzlies catch a break because some sort of equipment issue, I think.
I think it's tying his shoe.
And they're going to say reset the play clock and run the game clock. So we're under a minute to go in the first half, tied at 7. Holtzman again puts a man in motion. But he wants to pass. He wants to go deep down the near sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. And clock stopped at 47 seconds to go. You know, Tony, it's interesting. This is as full as I've seen Marvel Park, I think, in years. And the crowd's relatively quiet because there hasn't been a lot of scoring.
Yep, it's definitely been pretty mild.
7-7 is your score. 3rd and 11 for the Grizzlies from their own 46. Viking defense trying to make a stand here late in quarter number 2. Holtzman wants to throw again. He's under heavy pressure, gets rid of it, and it is
incomplete.
Incomplete. I thought it was caught. That was a heck of a throw.
Almost had that.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable throw by Holtzman because he was under all sorts of duress. And now it looks like the Grizzlies are going to punt it away. And definitely agree with this call.
You don't want to go for it here and then give us the ball in the 45 and a couple of chances for a couple of quick passes.
It'll be Jamarcus Washington and I believe Landon Wheat. back for the Vikings, or is it J.J. Kendrick? J.J. Kendrick back deep. Grizzlies punting from their own 35.
Uh-oh.
They're going to try to, was it going to skip forward? It was a very low line drive kick, and it's down to right around the Viking 30-yard line. So I don't know, Tony, 33 seconds to go, only one timeout.
Another penalty flag.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that probably answers that question. I was going to wonder how aggressive Coach Scheibe would be, but if this is a 15-yard penalty on the Vikes, that'll back them up to their own 16, and you might as well just.
Yep.
Well, it's on the Vikes, but it wasn't an unsportsmanlike penalty, I don't believe.
I don't know what that was. Touching on the head.
Got an illegal participation penalty.
Backing it up 5 yards. Well, maybe it is going to be. It is going to be 15 yards, Tony. Look at that, all the way back to the 16-yard line. And I'm still not 100% what the penalty was.
It says illegal participation is what it's saying. I've never heard of that.
Seems like a rather severe penalty, because we're all familiar with the unsportsmanlike conduct signal and the personal foul signal. Interesting. So now the Vikes probably have to be very conservative and very careful. Backed up to their own 16. Just 33 seconds to go in the half. Score still tied at 7. Mack in the pistol, Washington the lone running back. And he just takes a knee. Now will the Grizzlies burn any timeouts? They only have 2. And I think they're just going to let the clock run out. It may very well be the last play of our first half.
Yep, that's going to be it.
So hats off to both defenses. Both teams have some playmakers, and only one touchdown scored by each ball club here in the first half. And we have officially reached halftime here at Marvel Park with your score, Parsons 7 and Labette County 7. We are going to take let's see how much time they put on the clock. Let's take a 10-minute break, and then we will come back and break down the first half on our Eye Care Associate halftime show. Once again, your halftime score, Parsons 7 and the Grizzlies 7. We will be back in 10 minutes. You're listening to Viking Football on B93.
Sophomore Natalie Bowman. And our seniors, Abby Downey. Coached by Emily Morris.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Both teams field. I'm probably going to take a commercial break. I'm assuming they're going to reset this clock to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens, Scott. It's like both teams always wait till late. It's almost purposely. I don't know if that's just a standard thing or what.
Yeah, I think it is standard, and I'm honestly not sure why.
Yeah.
I've never even asked the question. But before we do take a break, our video streaming expert, Joe Stringer, sent me a text on that penalty. He said that a player ran on the sideline before the play was over, so it was a dead ball, illegal player on field.
Okay.
Which I don't think I've ever seen that called. But
okay.
But it cost the Vikings 15 yards. So.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know if they would have ran anything anyway.
I don't think they would have.
I don't think it was going to matter. They may have tried to run Washington one time just to see if he could break through the line, and if not, just then down it. But I don't think that hurt anything. But it just, yeah, you're right. That's quirky. I've never really seen that happen much.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for our Eye Care Associate halftime show. Again, your halftime score: Parsons 7, Grizzlies 7. We'll be back with the second half in 1 minute. You're listening to Viking Football on V93. Tony, on second thought, we'll keep it right here at Marvel Park. 7-7 is your scores. We get ready to go in the second half. Again, the Vikings will be receiving the kickoff, and I don't think they're going to have a chance for much of a return, Tony, and we have seen that a lot just really over the last 5 years, where teams just like, you know what, if they have a good return man, we're just going to kick it short and take our chances. And
yeah, we had so many years, Scott, to where when we had Derek, Daquan, those guys back there, nobody would kick it deep ever.
Yep.
They were kicking it even at the 45-40. They'd rather give us the ball, closer to midfield than to even try to come close to kicking it to those guys. So
Yeah, the first year I really remember seeing that was I think when we had James Jackson, Wes Kroll.
Oh, yeah.
And one,
Tevin
Johnson. Yeah, and because that team made it to the playoffs, and they did it mostly with like big plays on the defensive side of the ball and special teams plays. We'll see if the Vikings can get this crowd revved up early in the second half. 7-7 is your score. Grizzlies have the ball teed up at 40-yard line. Nolan Nash ready to get things going here in quarter number 3. And again, it's a very short kick, fielded at about the 39.
Oh.
Vikes run into each other, but man still has
Nice
the ball
return
across
by
the
Makai
45 to still on his feet. He's at the 50, and he's still going. He may go the distance. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! One of the greatest returns I have seen in Marvel Park history. An unbelievable effort.
It was like a pinball.
By Ball. I don't know how he got out of that mess.
Unbelievable, Scott. How did they miss those?
The first contact, Tony, was one of his own blockers.
Yeah. Wow, unbelievable. Makai Ball, great effort, kid.
That will be a 60-yard touchdown return. That was absolutely incredible. And the whole thing took 18 seconds. Here's the extra point try. And I think Quirin was mad about missing that field goal because he booted that extra point way into the parking lot.
About in the third row of cars.
Well, we wanted to see the Marvel Park fans have a chance to make some noise, and
they did.
Wow, that was an electric return, 60 yards, and the Vikings have their first lead of the night at 14-7. That was just an incredible effort.
Yeah, everybody's celebrating on the sideline. They're patting him on the head. Wow. Great return. That's a.
And he's not a big kid. I mean, 6'1", 160. He's not small, but he's not, not like he's going to run anybody over. But man, he just refused to go down.
He never crouched. He was standing tall almost the entire time, and they kept trying to push him down, and nobody went for his legs. If they would have went for his legs, I think he would have went down, but he just kept bouncing around.
So I think that's the first, we were just talking about all these short kickoffs, and I think that's the first time I've actually seen one run back for a touchdown like that.
Yeah, because it's so congested.
Yeah.
At the 50-yard line, there was 22 guys within a 10-yard span right there.
So the Vikes had too many guys on the field. I don't know if they got him off in time or not. Don't see a flag. So 11:42 to go in the third quarter. Vikes lead at 14-7, and now we have a stoppage in play.
I'm not sure what that was.
Either going to be too many men on the field, or it may end up being a delay of game.
Oh. False start?
It's got to be some kind of illegal formation, I would imagine.
I've never heard of a false start on a kickoff.
Yeah, that's the signal for false start, and I believe I'm almost positive that's an illegal formation signal as well, but I've never seen that on a kickoff either. I mean, you have to have so many people on each side of the ball, I believe. I know you do in the
I see a guy coming to the other side. Maybe that is.
So,
you know what? There was 6 guys on that side of the kicker, so.
Well,
it's just 5 yards.
And with the strong leg of Quirin, that probably won't make much difference. But I think the Vikings were too pumped up after that touchdown by Baugh that they kind of forgot who was on the kickoff team. So this will be returnable. It's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. Here come the Grizzlies up to the 20, coming to the near side.
Oh, good tackle.
My goodness, that was nice pursuit. By Phillips. He's made some big plays tonight for the Vikes.
Yeah, Tate Phillips has done really well.
So the Grizzlies will have their first possession of the second half. Ball will be spotted on their own 23. 11:35 to go in the third quarter, with the Vikes leading this one 14-7.
Akai Ball out there playing safety, Scott. He don't get no break. Back in there.
6'1" junior got the second half started with a 60-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Jackson right up the middle, across the 25.
yards.
Got a decent pickup. They're going to spot him. Yeah, they didn't spot that ball where I thought they would, Tony. They only put it out across to about the 26. 2nd and 7. Looks like coming up for the Grizzlies. Holtzman, the 6'1", 215-pound quarterback for the Grizzlies, takes the snap, gives it to Jackson, and he squirts through, I thought, but then he's going to get stood up right around the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and long coming up for the Grizzlies.
Might have lost 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a loss on the play, so 3rd and 9 coming up for the Grizzlies. Ball on their own 24. They're going to send both Phillips and Bates to the near side. 4 receiver set. Vikings have shown the ability to get to Holtzman on these passing situations. And he does want to throw. Going to get rid of it quickly, and it's caught for a first down out at the 35. That was Keegan Bates. You mentioned him earlier, Tony, just how not a big kid, but very slippery. Kind of, in a way, reminds me of Tanner Barkis.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
exactly.
not necessarily a lot of breakaway speed, but you remember Barkis ran a lot of curls his senior year, and it was just open time and time again.
Misdirection, just getting open. That's all you got to do.
So a nice pickup on 3rd and long by the Grizzlies. They will keep this drive alive. 1st and 10 from their own 35. 9:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Vikings leading this one 14-7. Jackson right up the middle. He's into the secondary, and he's going to have a first down out near midfield.
That's a big 13-yard pickup there. Well, they'd been balling him up, Scott.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the offensive line.
He broke free right there and got right through the line quickly.
They do have some speedy guys, but he's the one that concerns me the most. I think if he gets into some space, he may be able to run a long ways. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Give it to Jackson again.
There.
Not this time. About 3 Vikings in on the stop. So Kendrick, I think, was the first guy to make contact. So there'll be a loss on the play. And we have
somebody cramping up.
We'll call it an injury timeout. I think it is just a cramp. Somebody getting stretched out across the way on the Viking 45.
Yeah, I can't tell. Smart.
Jason Smart.
Yeah,
he's still. I tell you, those cramps are miserable.
It's this time of year that,
he's cramping again.
It's warm during the day, and then it gets a little bit cooler. They're running a lot, and then they don't run for a while, and then they go back out there and run, and that's when it starts cramping up. It just never fun.
So here we go, 2nd and about 11 for the Grizzlies from their own 47. Again, Parsons on top, 14-7. Holtzman to throw, goes over the middle. Boy, that's caught. That was a nice throw and catch for a first down inside the 40.
That's Nash on the catch, 13 yards.
Here again, it's not like we're the first ones to discover this, Tony, but what a difference it makes when you can get a little pressure on that quarterback.
Yep, exactly.
And that was a nice design, because when he has dropped back, just do a 3 or 5 step drop, that's when the Vikings have been able to get to him. But Coach Price had him roll out to the right.
He just rolled out and just rolled right into just a perfect throw.
And here we go, the first down play. Nice blocking up front. We've got a flag, so hopefully that's going to come back because that was a nice pickup by Jackson inside the Viking 35-yard line. Hopefully, I'm going to guess a hold. And it is a hold on the Grizzlies. So that will back them up 10 yards. So apparently, if I'm reading this right, Tony, if you make positive yardage, then it's a spot foul. But if the hold is back in the backfield, then it's not a spot foul.
So first and 15.
So it's going to be, first and 15 for the Grizzlies from the Viking 45. Vikings lead by 7, 14-7. Holtzman looks over the defense. Puts Holt in motion. High snap.
Oh, he had him.
And the running back, Jackson, gets away from 2 tacklers and has a nice gain almost down to the 30. And you're right, Tony. I thought the Vikes were going to swallow him up in the backfield. So nice run by Jackson. Just like, he had a lot of yards on the Grizzlies' first possession to start the game, and now he's got it going again here in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's got 27 on this drive. He had two for a loss, and he's still got 27 positive yards. But two big receptions on this drive. 15-yarder by Nash and 11-yarder by Bates.
Well, second and short. Coach Price might want to do a play-action pass here. Instead, with the play clock running down, he's going to burn a timeout. So LC takes a timeout, 6:49 to go in quarter number 3. Parsons leads at 14-7, but the Grizzlies are on the move. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
We are back live at Marvel Park. 2nd and 1 for the Grizzlies from the Viking 30-yard line, with Parsons leading this one 14-7. Holtzman takes the snap. He does want to throw. He's in trouble. Gets around one man. Now he's just going to keep it himself, and he's going to have the first down. Gets all the way down to the 25 for the first down. And, well, Tony, that's twice now. The Vikes have had a chance for a big play on defense, once on Jackson and right there on Holtzman, but Holtzman did a nice job eluding the would-be tackler, and Grizzlies on the move once again.
Yeah, I think the Vikings just barely missing. They need to come up with a big stop here and try to keep the Grizzlies out of the end zone.
Bates and Phillips split to the near side. 5 seconds on the play clock, and Holtzman's still looking over to the sideline.
Yeah, they're not going to get this off either.
He didn't get that off. They're going to let it go. That was a delay game, and it's a completed pass.
No way. Unbelievable.
Tough break for the Vikes. That should have been a 5-yard penalty. And now another injured Viking. Limping off the field is Jamarcus Washington. That pass was good for about 6 or 7 yards inside the 20-yard line, actually just inside the 19. So Grizzlies gave up that 60-yard touchdown run on the opening kickoff of the second half, and now they are trying to answer. Holtzman in the pistol. Wants to throw over the end zone, a little timing pattern, and it's caught. It is a touchdown to Xavier Phillips. They ran that play to perfection against Towanda, And they do it again tonight against the Vikings, and it is a one-point game. Vikings leading 14-13.
Yep. Phillips just, outmanned him, really. Just kind of went in, just a jump ball. Just went up and just had the leverage.
Looks like Coach Price wants to go for the lead right here. Going to be a 2-point try for the Grizzlies. Playbook wide open. They might run this, Tony, or they might go on a quick slant. It's going to be a passing play.
Phillips slipped, and it's incomplete, so the Vikings catch a break there. They still have the lead by the narrowest of margins. Parsons 14, Labette County 13, 5:34 to play in the third quarter. We'll have the kickoff when we return in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KFKCRadio.com.
Back live at Marvel Park. 14-13 is your score. Vikes lead by 1. This time, Manny Ramirez, freshman, is going to kick off for the Grizzlies. Short kick, fielded about the 32, coming to the near side. J.J. Kendrick, I believe, into Grizzly territory. May have fumbled. He did, but the ball landed out of bounds, fortunately.
Wow. Very good return, though.
Yeah, all the way to the 45-yard line of the Grizzlies, maybe even the 44. So Vikings, all in all, have had pretty good field position tonight. Tony, we thought scoring might kind of pick up in the second half, and that's certainly been the case here in the third quarter.
Let's see the Vikings just go down and score again here.
Trey Mack takes the snap. To throw it in the flat to Landon Weed. He's got one blocker. He finds the outside, and he's still on his feet, and then somehow ankle tackled from behind it. And I hope he's not hurt, Tony. He's going to be slow getting up. I think he's okay, but he's a little bit gimpy. That's twice Grizzlies have saved a touchdown by the narrowest of margins.
Wow,
ankle tackle.
They brought the ball way back. He must have stepped out of bounds, Scott.
Yeah, they're going to bring it all the way back to the 31-yard line.
13-yard reception.
So still a first down, but yeah, I thought he was going to be down closer to the 20-yard line, but yeah, he had to have stepped out of bounds. So 1st and 10 for the Vikes, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Going to be a running play to Washington around the right side. He's still on his tail. We've got a flag. Still on his feet, and then wrestled down about the 22 or 23. Flag came in where you would think holding, and it is, so the Vikes will get backed up. And it will remain first down.
That'll be 1st and 20. What is that?
They're going to back him up.
Yep. 1st and 20.
Yep, so from the 31 back to the 41. 1st and 20 for the Vikes. 4:49 to go in the third quarter. And it's been close since the opening kickoff. Grizzlies jumped out 7-0. Vikes had a couple of unanswered touchdowns, and then the Grizzlies just moments ago punched it in. So 14-13. Vikes by 1. JJ in motion. Oh, we've got a flag. They're going to blow it dead. Had to be a false start on the Vikings, sure enough. So all of a sudden, that good field position and a good first play to Landon Wheat, back-to-back penalties. And the Vikings are looking at a 1st and 25. Remember, I think it was just last year's team, Tony. Boy, you put them in some of these kind of situations, and they play their best football of the night. You know, they just come up with a big play.
Yeah, this is a long. I mean, honestly, you get a couple of pretty decent little passes with the extra yards. You can pick it up in 2 plays pretty easily. Two 12, 13-yard passes.
6 seconds on the play clock, and the Viking offense looks confused. Coach Scheibe may have to burn a timeout.
Better go.
They didn't get it off.
Well, they didn't get it off earlier.
They're going to go deep down the near sideline, and it is broken up. Going to be incomplete. They were shooting for Washington, Jamarcus Washington. He thought he was interfered with, and
it's just good defense.
But I thought it was good defense, and here again, I think he may have stepped out on his route. Not that it matters because it fell incomplete anyway, but so 2nd and 25 for the Vikes from the LC 46. Parsons leading the Grizzlies 14-13. 4:41 to play in quarter number 3. Viking offense hustles up to the line of scrimmage. Landon Wheat and J.J. Kendrick, we've seen it most of the night, will line up on the right side. Mack wants to throw. Now he's going to keep it right up the gut, and he's going to be wrestled down after a short gain.
Only about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah. So 3rd and long for the Vikes. Here again, this is one of those situations, Tony, where you might try to draw up a play where you pick up about half of it. Maybe get to the original line of scrimmage around the 31.
Yeah.
Give you a manageable 4th and 10. Right now, Vikes facing a 3rd and 23. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, Vikes lead by 1. Landon Wheat split wide left. Trey Mack takes the snap. He wants to throw. Going for Wheat. And Landon Wheat cannot come up with it. Pretty good defense in the secondary by the Grizzlies. And now it's 4th and 23. And it looks like Coach Scheibe's going to try to pin the Grizzlies deep. Penalties, Tony.
Yep. Penalties are not your friend.
Lawrence Holt back deep for the Grizzlies. He's going to back up to about his 10-yard line. Quirin to punt it away for the Vikes, standing on his own 44. Somebody moved early, but no flag. And there it comes late. Well, I don't understand that. If they're going to call a false start, that's the right call, but man, that was a late whistle.
Yep.
So the Vikes are going to back up another 5 yards. I've lost track of how many penalty yards they've had on this possession.
25.
Man. So they back it up to the Grizzly 49-yard line. Return man Holt moves up 5 yards from the 10 to the 15. May have been early movement again.
That's a good punt.
Lots of hang time. It's going to hit at the 10
and
bounce into about and died around the 8-yard line. Nicely done by Quirin and the Viking punting unit. They will pin the Grizzlies deep inside their own 10. 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Score remains Vikings 14 and the Grizzlies 13.
Yeah, Vikings defense needs to stiffen up here, get a stop, and try to get the ball back in that good field position. They had the ball to start with on the 44-yard line.
Yeah,
they've
had some good field position tonight.
You know, you throw 13, 14 yards down the field to Landon Wheat, and then you can't do nothing. It's just penalty. 4 or 5 of them.
Looks like they spotted the ball on the 9-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. From their own 9, Phillips split to the near side. Running play is going to go nowhere.
Maybe lost it too.
Trying to see who got in on that. Was that Henson? Was that Chandler Henson maybe?
Yeah, I think it was, 24. Yeah, we called his name a lot last week, and that's the first time he's got there on the play tonight.
So 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Vikes leading by 1 point, 14-13 over the Grizzlies.
They don't have enough guys out here on defense.
Nope, they're a guy short. 2nd and 12 for the Grizzlies. Running play again. It looks like a carbon copy of the last one. It's going to be a loss.
That's Cade Brown.
Boy, Cade Brown called his name a lot last year, calling it a lot this year. And now, man, I would think the Grizzlies would just keep it on the ground and try to. They'll end up having to kick out of their end zone possibly, so who knows?
Anything can happen at this point. You know,
Coach
Jackson.
Price might want to throw it deep here, or they may set up. Need to watch out for a screen. 3rd and 14. There's the snap. He doesn't want to throw. He's going deep on a timing pattern. Nearly intercepted. Nicely defended on the far side by, I believe that was Trey Logan on the coverage. Tony, that's a good defensive stand by the Vikes, and that's exactly
negative 4 yards.
Yeah, that's big, and that's exactly what Coach Schaube was hoping for. You couldn't draw it up any better. Quern got that punt to die inside the 10-yard line, and then a 3 and out. And they don't have.
We just can't have a penalty here.
Yeah, no penalties here, no roughing the kicker. They've had trouble punting the ball tonight, the Grizzlies have, so the Vikes have a chance to have outstanding field position here.
Oh, almost blocked it.
It's going to be a very short kick. Get away from it. And it's going to die. It takes a bit of a Grizzly bounce, but it's not going to help them very much. Parsons will take over inside the 30-yard line. And, Tony, I've mentioned it several times. Vikings have had pretty darn good field position tonight, and they really haven't taken advantage of it.
No, it's been a little bit rusty on the offensive side of the ball. Washington, we talk about how tough he is to bring down. I don't think they've ran him 2 times in a row. It's just at some point you got to just hand him the rock and see what he can do, and this might be a good opportunity.
1st and 10 from the 27, and there is Washington over the right side. Powers forward for a gain of about 3.
He picks up 3 or 4 on 3 plays in a row. That's a first down. You just got to keep running it.
Minute 35 to go in the third quarter. Vikes lead up 14-13.
This is a big drive, Scott.
Yeah,
you have to score here.
Yeah, the Vikes need to. Only 27 yards from the end zone. And then after that 3-yard run, about 23 and a half yards to go. Be nice to get just a hint of breathing room here late in the third quarter. Quick pass out to Kendrick. Uses his quickness. He's caught from behind, flung out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Close
Good
to
defense
first
by the Grizzlies. So the clock stops with exactly 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Vikes will be facing about a 3rd and 3. I wouldn't have thought that the 2 touchdowns the Vikings have would have come the way they have. You had that misdirection play to Phillips, and then Ball with the 60-yard touchdown on the kickoff return. Meanwhile, Vikes here trying to get a big first down here, facing 3rd and 3 from the Grizzly 20. Trey Mack takes the snap. He's going to throw for it, and it's going to be intercepted. Well, should I take that back? Let me rephrase. It should have been intercepted. He threw that directly to Bradley Black, junior linebacker, and he can't believe he didn't catch it, and I can't either. That could have been, I don't know how fast he is, but it could have been a pick 6.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous.
I don't know if somebody ran the wrong route or what happened, but Trey Mack and his receiver were not on the same page. And now, after getting 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 27, Tony, here we go again, 4th and 3 from the 20.
Yep.
Vikes up to the line of scrimmage. Trey Mack looks over that Grizzly defense. He takes the snap. It's a running play. And I think it's going to be short.
It's close.
I think he's a yard short. He lost his, he's trying to plead his case. They are going to measure. It is hard to tell. We're at a kind of a bizarre angle.
I think it's short.
I think he's short by half a yard. So we'll let the chain gang come out and do their thing. 51 seconds to go in the third quarter. Parsons leading the Grizzlies 14-13. It looked good at first, Tony, and then I don't know if he
got tripped
slipped
up.
I think you're probably right. I think he got tripped at the last second.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was going to get down to at least the 15. I'm going to go by about the length of the football. I think they're probably short, but like I said, we don't have a great angle. But, yeah, he's short.
Yeah, way short.
So the Grizzlies with another hold on defense. That's huge. Parsons had it 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 27 after the Grizzlies had to punt out of their own end zone. And the Vikes cannot capitalize.
Well, defense going to have to do it again.
Grizzlies,
defense have played good. I mean, but how long can they keep playing? You know, that's the key. At some point, your offense got to help you out. Kind of like the Chiefs last night.
Yeah, that was ugly.
That was offense got to do something.
Well, the Grizzlies have it 1st and 10 from their own 18, which is actually better field position than they had on their last drive, which started inside their own 10. Phillips comes to the near side. Jackson will be the lone running back. Holtzman in the pistol. 2 receivers to the far side. Vikes leading by a single point, 14-13. Holtzman taking his time. There's the snap. He wants to throw over the middle, and it's broken up. It was well thrown and a good route run by Holt.
Man, I thought he should have caught that.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell if it was actually broken up by the defensive back or, if it just went through his arms. Yeah, if you give Holtzman time, he throws a pretty good ball.
Yeah, that was right on the money. Looked like Kadarius Toney out there catching. Almost, after throwing on first down, you almost have to throw on second down.
Well, they're going to go to Jackson, and he only has a yard at the most. And that may be the last play of the third quarter. There's the play clock, or rather the game clock, is about a second less than what's showing on the play clock. So if Coach Price wants to run this down and just talk about this play, which he probably will, it's a third down play, might as well let the clock run down and you can talk about your play in between quarters. And they might just be trying to get the Vikings to jump off sides, most likely, get a cheap 5 yards.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run it.
He's just looking at the scoreboard clock right now. And that is going to be the end of quarter number 3. We're going to be in for a fun final 12 minutes. Into the third quarter, Vikings 14 and Grizzlies 13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Viking Football on B93.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Care of our live stream, and Karen Hardesty taking care of everything for us back in the KLKC studios. Tony, I won't call this the biggest play of the game, but it's still a big play coming up for the Grizzlies and the Viking defense. 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies as we get going in quarter number 4. Vikings clinging to a 1-point lead, 14-13.
Yeah, if they can pick up this, I mean, that'd be huge momentum going further into the fourth quarter here. But if they have to punt it from their pretty close to their end zone again, it's at some point the Vikings offense is going to have to do something.
See if the Vikes bring a little bit of pressure on what would appear to be a passing down. Holtzman to throw. He's got a man open, and it's caught. Holt comes down with it. Trey Logan on the coverage for the Vikes. Tony, that was a great route and a great throw, but I think the Vikes made that just a little too easy.
Yeah, he just had nobody really playing defense. He just kind of ran free.
So big pickup. Nice third down conversion by the Grizzlies. 11:35 to play in our game. It's Parsons leading LC 14-13. We were tied at 7 at halftime. Each team able to find the end zone one time in the third quarter. Snap to Holtzman.
Nothing there.
Jackson going to get wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
Jackson, your ball carried, brought down by number 24.
He's definitely been the workhorse tonight for the Grizzlies. And echoing what you said, Tony, I'd kind of like to see the Vikings do that with Washington.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't had a ton of success throwing the ball tonight. Try to wear down that defense with Washington. He's listed at 215 pounds, so he's quite a load. 2nd and 12 for the Grizzlies. Holtzman wants to throw again. He's under pressure, gets around it, and then completes a pass out to around the 40 or 41 yard line. That was good recognition by the senior quarterback. And it was his running back, Jackson, who slipped out of the backfield to make the reception. Still 3rd and long, though.
3rd and what, 7, 8?
Yep, 3rd and about 8 for the Grizzlies. They just converted on, what was it, a 3rd and 10 or a 3rd and 12?
Yeah.
So the Viking defense needs to stiffen right here. Holtzman takes the snap. Looking, and it's dropped. Phillips had it.
Right in his hands, too. And that would have been a first down.
Jamarcus Washington on the coverage for the Vikes, and the Grizzlies will be forced to punt. And I don't think they're going to run a fake, but I didn't think the Lions were going to run a fake last night from inside their own 20 or wherever they were. And
yeah, that was pretty classic there.
But this is that'd be a little risky. This is 4th and 8 from their own 40. Then again, they've had trouble kicking the ball tonight. Yeah. So with that in mind, Vikes need to be ready for anything. It's a good snap. Almost blocked again, and it's going to be another short kick, but a great bounce. Vikes just need to get away from it. Boy, the Grizzlies got lucky there.
Got about a 12-yard roll.
Yeah, it's going to be down at about the 41 of the Vikes. So, I mean, that's compared to a lot of drives, this is bad starting field position for the Vikes, and yet they're starting
well, maybe that's
close
what they
to
need,
midfield.
Scott.
Yeah, you might be right.
It can't hurt. Because the last two possessions we started, they're 44, they're 27. Yep. 9:52 to play. If the Vikes can go down and run some clock and score here and go up by, 8, make it really interesting.
Kind of a bunched formation for the Vikes. It's going to be Washington coming to the near side, and I thought he maybe slipped, and then he gets hit pretty hard after a 1 yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Vikes. I think he maybe only got half a yard on that.
Yeah, not much.
We did have some rain last night, but I don't think it has affected the field conditions at all. It looks like it's in outstanding shape, but it did look like he lost his footing on that one.
Yeah, beautiful evening tonight, too.
2 receivers to the near side, and flags all over the place. dead ball, so it's either offsides or false start. Yep, false start on the Vikes. So that'll bring up 2nd and 14. Well, the Vikes have done some of the things that Coach Scheibe wanted tonight, Tony. They've gotten some pressure on the quarterback. I thought they've played hard.
Yep.
For over 3 quarters now, and they've done some good things on both sides of the ball, boy, but penalties have really started to add up.
Yeah, I thought, in passing situations that we had the advantage, but not necessarily.
So 2nd and 14, Trey Mack takes the snap, throws it to Kendrick on a slant. It's a first down, and then he is swallowed up by about 5 Grizzlies, but he is into LC territory, and that'll move the sticks for the Vikings.
That's a good 20-yard pickup there.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikes from the LC 47. Back into the huddle. And here come the Vikes up to the line of scrimmage. 8:25 to go in our ball game. It's been a good one. Vikings leading LC 14-13. Mack takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and there's that misdirection to Phillips. He's got a blocker out in front of him. Is it the 35, 30? And brought down around the 21-yard line. Vikes and Coach Scheibe, Tony, they've been very selective with that play. It's worked every time, I believe, except once. I think they've had about a 75% success rate.
Yeah, that was great. They did not see that one coming, and man, he had a block out in front, and then he just took off.
Yeah, that was very well executed by the Viking offense. A little counter, little misdirection. Like I said, they've only used it 3 or 4 times tonight. Now an empty backfield for Mack. This is an interesting formation. He's going to keep it himself. Inside the 20, down to the 15, and then he'll be stood up there. Some things that we really haven't seen tonight, Tony. We've seen that misdirection play just a few times, but that was a design quarterback keeper, and I don't think we've seen that tonight.
Not a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, that was a good pickup on 1st down, all the way down
at the 15.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 14-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd and 2. Might be second. We'll call it 2nd and 3. It's about 2.5 yards, I believe. Viking offense on the move, trying to extend their 1-point lead. Mack to Washington.
First down.
I think he's got the first down to around the 10-yard line. Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10. They've been down here before, Tony. They've only been able to finish it off one time tonight. That second touchdown, of course, came on the second half kickoff, that unbelievable run by Baugh that gave the Vikings their first lead of the night. So 1st and goal, ball right on the 10-yard line. What does Coach Scheibe want to do? 1st and goal from the Grizzly 10. Mack. Ball's fumbled, and the Vikes very lucky. I think
it's going to be incomplete. I think he threw it forward.
Was it a forward pass again? And Washington's hurt. Down. So Washington laying flat on his back. And so we hope he's okay. And yeah, I'm not sure, Tony, because obviously the clock will stop now with the injury. But again, it just didn't look like Washington and Mack were on the same page.
No, that's the 2nd or 3rd time that's happened tonight. It just hasn't been a very good thing.
So 6:13 to go in quarter number 4. Washington looks like he's going to be helped to his feet. That's a good sign.
Yeah, he's fine. I just got the wind knocked out of him or something.
Yeah, he's going to be able to jog off to the sidelines under his own power. That's good news for the Vikes. But they lost, depending on whether that was considered a fumble, they lost about 6 yards.
Nope, they're putting it back at the 10. I think they went in and says incomplete pass.
Yep, that's what it was.
Because it was a forward shovel, just like they done it those other 2 or 3 times. And twice it's went on the ground, Scott.
Yes, it has. Viking offense still talking to Coach Scheibe, I believe, here over on the near sideline. Down to 6:13 to go in our game. A touchdown here definitely won't clinch it, but, man, I think Viking fans will breathe a little bit easier.
It wouldn't hurt.
If they can punch us in, and I'm assuming Coach Scheibe would just go ahead and send Quirin out to try to make it an 8-point lead. But, man, there's a...
Well, the down marker says third over there across the field. It's only second down.
Well, I hope they get that fixed. Yeah, because that was their first play. That was their first and goal play, was that?
Oh, yeah.
Essentially that shovel pass that fell incomplete. So hopefully the refs will see that. Well, he just held up, did he hold up 3 fingers or 2 fingers?
It's only second down.
I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Tony, I don't know what's going on. Third, they're going to show it across the way as third down. The scoreboard has what we think it is.
Yeah, it should be second down. I don't know why the thing shows third on the down marker, but.
So I don't know what to tell you, everybody. Officially, across the way, it says third down, so that's what we have to go with for now. 3rd and goal from the 10. Mack, he wants to keep it himself again, looking for the edge, and he's not going to find much room there. Actually squeezes between a couple of guys and ended up picked up 3 or 4. So they're going to spot the ball at the 7-yard line. And is it 3rd and goal, or Grizzlies holding up the closed fist indicating 4th down, and I just don't understand that, Tony. We'll have to go back and see if we both of us managed to miss a play somehow.
Definitely didn't miss a play.
And now I think the Parsons coaching staff has finally realized the mistake. He's saying, "Hey, look at the scoreboard. They've only ran 2 plays, and they're not. I don't think they're going. And now he has to burn a timeout because of the confusion. Yeah, that's frustrating. And somebody who has the down marker may have made a mistake, but ultimately that's on the sideline official. They're the one who's in charge of making sure that that's correct, and it is definitely supposed to be 3rd and goal." I mean, that's a inexcusable mistake if that does not get fixed.
Because literally that's like volunteer people. You know, I think it might be the LCC baseball players. I don't even know who does it anymore, but in the past it's been like just a baseball team.
So now they just now signaled the timeout for Parsons. Surely they didn't make them burn a second one after all that. Now the officials are going to, you know what you do in this point? You tell the officials, okay, tell me the 3 plays that we ran, because they wouldn't be able to come up with it. So we'll see what happens when they. I have a feeling it's going to stay 4th down, Tony, because. You know, it's not like in the NFL. I don't even think that would be reviewable anyway. But no instant replay or anything like that to look at. Coach Price waiting patiently on the Grizzlies sideline. Meanwhile, all officials. Game finally had a little bit of flow to it, Tony, and now this confusion on the down marker. So it's supposed to be 3rd and goal from the 7. For the Vikes, but it may end up being 4th down. Let's see. We'll go by Coach Scheibe's reaction. He's telling all of his assistants to step back. And they have not changed it across the way.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's just inexcusable. That's the kind of mistake that can cost a team a win.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Officials are humans too. I believe I remember a state championship basketball game where a guy one of the Viking players was fouled out when he only had 4 fouls, but the official scorer had made a mistake, and that ended up impacting that state championship game. Coach Scheibe's still talking to the head referee, and you know what he's telling him? Hey, look, we threw the shovel pass for incomplete on first down, and then we had a quarterback keeper on second down. It's the only 2 plays we've ran.
Yeah.
But I think Coach Scheibe, I don't know. I can't tell. I still don't know if they're going to change it or not. We have another discussion at the 11-yard line. 4 of the 5 officials huddled up. And again, Tony, I want to know, how did it get put to third down to begin with?
Whenever they got hurt, he just flipped the thing to third down. I don't know because it took so long whenever Washington got hurt that I think he just flipped. Whenever the ref came to the sideline, he just flipped the marker. So,
and I really don't know what could be taking this long. You have your discussion, and you decide it's either we got to go third down, flip a coin, do something, and go third down or fourth down. But the crowd is getting antsy, as are the players. Again, your score, Parsons 14, LC 13, 5:19 to go in the game. It is supposed to be 3rd and goal for the Vikes from the 7, but across the way it's showing 4th and goal. And Tony, with the problems the Vikes have had finishing off drives, they need all the help they can get. Not that this would be help, it would be the down that it should be if they switch it to 3rd. Now the head referee.
He's going to go talk to the guy
going all the way over.
He's like, did you accidentally flip the thing in extra time?
I would think the only reason to go over there would be to tell him to flip it from 4 to 3. Yeah, but this is a unnecessary and incredibly long delay at crunch time. They have not changed it.
Now they're going to talk.
They're going to talk to the LC coaching staff. $5:19 to go in the 4th quarter. We've been stuck on that number for a long time now, Tony. Vikings lead by 1.
I mean, if Labette County is good sportsmanship, they would be like, hey, it's 3rd down.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be kidding me.
And we are still waiting for the officials to make a decision. I tell you, this is hard on all the players to have to wait this long.
Parsons just needs to punch it in the end zone and get it over with, get this score.
And I think they're holding up. I think they changed it to 3rd down, going by the reaction of the Viking coaching staff. So they finally get it right. Now the question, Tony, can the Vikings punch it in? They'll have 2 cracks at it here as the offense is finally back out on the field. 14-13, Vikes by 1, 3rd and goal from the 7. Trey Mack takes the snap, rolls right, looking, throws to the end zone. It's a touchdown!
Yeah.
J.J. Kendrick, I believe. I take that back.
That's Cade Brown, I think.
We're still looking. Landon Wheat.
No, it's not Landon Wheat.
No, it is J.J. Kendrick.
That's J.J. Kendrick.
All right, I got it right the first time.
Yep, Kendrick.
He caught that on the far side of the field. Great catch, great throw, and the Vikings lead 20-13.
They take the 8-point lead with the extra point here.
5:11 to go in the game. Kick by Quirin. has plenty of distance, and it is good. So 8-point lead for the Vikes, 5:11 to go in our ball game. We will be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on B93.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Back live at Marvel Park. Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you. Vikings with their biggest lead of the night, but it's still just one possession. 21-13, Vikes by 8, 5:11 to go in the game. Querin has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Tony, this will be the first time tonight that we'll probably have to see a little bit of urgency from the LC.
Oh, don't go out of bounds.
No, it goes out of bounds. That's going to be good field position for the Grizzlies. Querin, strong enough leg to get that thing into the end zone. We've already seen it several times in his high school career, but that one sailed left on him. And that's going to give the Grizzlies pretty decent field position as they try to get this score tied up late in quarter number 4. Tony, hats off to both of these defenses, though. These offenses both scored 40 points last week, 40 for LC, 41 for the Vikes, and Grizzlies have had to deal with the Vikings having some really good field position tonight, and they've made some good stands. Vikings holding this Grizzly offense to 13 points so far. Holtzman, the senior quarterback, has Jackson, the sophomore running back, right behind him. We have a stoppage in play, maybe some sort of equipment issue. 75 has to head to the sideline.
Honestly,
for the Grizzlies,
the LC,
Lane Simmons.
The LC defense has really held the Vikings to 14 besides that
That's
kickoff.
True, yep.
So really, it's been
2 touchdowns apiece.
That kickoff return is looming large right now. If it wasn't for that, Scott, we're all even.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Holtzman to throw. Now he comes to the near side. He's
sacked.
in trouble, and he is swallowed up and sacked. Kendrick in there, and I'm trying to see. Did not see the first
DeMonte Kendrick. That's his second
Viking
sack.
to get there, but Kendrick was the one to finish it off.
7-yard loss. 2nd and 17.
Big play by the Viking defense. Clock down to 4:27 to go in the game. There's the snap to Holtzman.
Got him again!
He throws it away.
That's got to be
Is there
grounding.
going to be a flag?
There's got to be grounding on that. There's nobody anywhere around.
Yeah, he just threw that into the Viking bench, and Holtzman's slow to get up.
Wow. If that would have been grounding, so that would have been like a 3rd and 30.
So the clock is stopped. 4:20 to go in the game. Vikings leading 21-13.
Labette County a little out of sorts on.
Yeah.
They just they're kind of like looking.
And Holtzman, he's a little. He was kind of. I don't want to say he was getting pummeled, but he's taking a couple of pretty good licks here. The last couple of plays. 2 seconds on the play clock. They barely get it off. Holtzman to throw. Steps into the pocket.
Intercepted.
And it is picked off. Vikes have it at the 40. 35. And brought down at about the 34-yard line. Caden Berry. We've been waiting for that all night. Grizzlies kind of found themselves in a situation there where they had to throw the football.
Yeah, the Vikes just need to run some clock here, Scott. Just run it.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left. But yeah, if the Vikings can just pick up a couple of first downs here, Tony, going to make things very, very difficult for the Grizzlies.
Vikings defense stepped up when they needed. Now it's going to be up to Washington to try to get some yards here.
And the backfield is empty. I thought. There's Washington.
He's hiding.
He was hiding on the other side of Mack. I thought, oh, late flag. Let's see if it's on the Grizzlies this time. Maybe a little bit of frustration by the Grizzlies. That'll be huge if it's on LC. That'll be an automatic first down after they did a good job bottling up Washington. Unsportsmanlike conduct on LC.
Wow.
So that's essentially going to be half the distance to the goal, I believe. 3:58 to go in our ball game. Vikes leading this one 21-13.
First and 10 to 17, 18. 18.
Yep, right around the 18-yard line.
The chain gang's not even set.
They're a little slow getting up the way. So here we go. Vikes, the chance to essentially salt this game away. First and 10 from the Grizzly 18. Vikes lead by 8. And the Vikes, I think the coaching staff was hollering out at Trey Mack, let that play clock go all the way down. Still 10 seconds on the play clock, 3:26 on the game clock. Trey Mack takes the snap. Washington over the right side for a gain of about 1.
A lot of pushing going on after the play.
You know, the Grizzlies need to. Boy, that unsportsmanlike conduct was huge, Tony.
Yeah,
they've got to play smarter than that. This is a one-possession ball game.
Yeah, because if Washington does what he just did, gain another yard, it's 3rd and 8, and you're forcing them to throw, and you still got 2 or 3 minutes to play.
I wonder if the Vikes are close enough. Would Coach Scheibe send Queern out again for a field goal that would turn it into a 2-possession game? Mack wants to throw. Complete. Kendrick, then he lost the ball, picked it back up, and is tackled at the 15-yard line. Clock should keep moving. It'll be 3rd down from the Grizzly 15, and I believe LC called a timeout. So 8-point lead for the Vikes. 2:21 to go in the game. They'll be facing a 3rd and about 6 from the 15. And during this timeout, we'll say thank you one last time to our sponsors, bringing you Viking football in 2023. Thank you to Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, also Dress for Less, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, Strategic Partners, Roy's Auto Service, Bowen Pharmacy, Parsons Educational Foundation, Parsons District Schools, Snyder Lawn Care, Olsen Ace Hardware, and last but not least, SEK Orthopedic, Doctors Mosier, Meister, and Morris. Thank you once again to all of our sponsors. Vikes trying to put this one away. They're facing 3rd and about 6.5 from the Grizzly 15. Vikes leading 21-13. Trey Mack looks over the defense. Puts Kendrick in motion, gives it to him on a jet sweep. He cuts back, and he's going to be swallowed up for after a short gain down to about the 13, and the Grizzlies will burn their final timeout with 2:18. So guess we'll find out here, Tony.
Yeah.
I know on the 29-yard attempt, Queern went wide left, But I wouldn't hesitate.
It'd be about a 32-yarder.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to put Quirin out there because it wouldn't clinch the game. But, man, you make it a two-possession game with only about 2:18 to go and no timeouts for the Grizzlies. It is 4th down, isn't it? They never moved the across the way. They never moved the down marker from 3rd to 4th. And there they finally do. So 4th down for the Vikes from the Grizzly 14. And they do bring Quirin out for the field goal attempt.
It's 4th. Should be 4th down.
It's going to be a 31-yard attempt for Quirin. Definitely within his range. Vikes trying to make it a two-possession game. The kick is away. Plenty of distance. And he drilled it. Senior place kicker, Jace Quirin, knocks it through, and that is huge.
Nice to have that in your back pocket.
He gets a huge hug from Coach Scheibe on the sideline. 31-yard field goal. Boy, that had plenty of distance, Tony.
That would have went from about 50.
Nicely done by the entire field goal unit there for the Vikes. Say it is, you got to have the strong leg and the accurate kicker. But, man, there are so many things that go into making a field goal at the high school level that are really not that easy to convert. So 2:13 to go in our ball game. Vikes have a two-possession lead now at 24-13, and I think this is going to put the Grizzlies really out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they're going to be really. I felt like they were out of sorts on the last possession that they had, and I think this possession they're really going to be out of sorts. Yeah, Quirin just needs to keep this one in bounds. Last time he kicked it out of bounds, it gave him pretty good field possession, but they didn't take advantage of it.
So we'll see if he can boot this one into the end zone. Again, 2:13 to go in our ball game. Vikes leading LC 24-13. It's a little bit shorter. Fielded at about the 22-yard line. And a ball may have been, I thought the ball was loose briefly. Said it's just a short return by the Grizzlies out across the 30 to about the 32 or 33. Madison Hops, freshman, on that return. So we'll see what Coach Price has up his sleeve.
Just good, solid defense here. Just don't let them get behind you.
Yep, Vikes will, I'm sure, have some sort of prevent defense in. They have one deep safety back at the 50-yard line. Holtzman to throw. And on the quick slant, his receiver wasn't ready. That happened a couple of times to the Vikings tonight. Just not everybody on the same page. 2:03 to go in our game. Vikes by 11. They've outscored the Grizzlies 17-6 here in the second half.
Holtzman's a lot more comfortable in the first half on stuff like that. And that one, he literally just looked and slung it.
He's taking enough hits that I think he's getting a little nervous, and he's going to take another hit right there as the Vikings swallow him up.
Wow.
Back around the 24-yard line, and it looks like the Vikings going to move to 2-0 on the young season, and the Grizzlies will fall to 1-1. Vikings at home again next week. Iola Mustangs come to town.
That'll be a tough matchup. Coach Scheibe talked about that, Scott.
It's a pass down the far sideline, intercepted right at midfield, and that should clinch it for the Vikes. That was Jamarcus Washington, the junior defensive back. And the Vikings have just simply outplayed the Grizzlies here in the second half, specifically in quarter number 4. You know, with 5 minutes to go in this game, a little over 5 minutes, Tony, it was 14-13.
Yeah, it was close.
So the Vikings here in just the last few minutes have outscored the Grizzlies 10-0. Had a couple of interceptions.
I don't even think they have to pick up a first down, Scott. They don't
No,
have any timeouts.
Grizzlies
so
are out of timeouts.
You could take 2 knees, and I think it's over.
Vikings are going to win it. Vikes will go into their victory formation. And, man, may have had a delay game. Play clock's at 0. Yep, delay game on the Vikes. So it won't matter, but you don't see that very often when you're just wanting to take a knee.
I'm not sure what they're waiting on.
Minute 28 as Mack takes the snap, takes a knee right at the 40-yard line, and the clock. Game clock down to 1:17.
Big win here tonight, Scott. Much anticipated. I mean, I know both sides were looking forward to it.
The play clock, I think they were trying to get the play clock to go, and there it goes. It was stuck. But yeah, it's been a good night for the Vikes. Might need one more snap, and that's going to do it. We're down to 42 seconds, 35 seconds on the play clock. So one more snap, and this one will be in the books. 24-13 is your score. Hard-fought win tonight for the Vikings. Trey Mack takes a knee for the final time. And in 2023, the rivalry game belongs to the blue and gold as the Vikings knock off the Grizzlies 24-13. Tony, not easy, but they pulled it out.
Yep, it was a tough-fought game, and, you know, it was close all the way, like you said, until the last 4 or 5 minutes. It was right there neck and neck. It could have been anybody's game, and the Vikings just stole it.
Once again, your final, Parsons 24, Grizzlies 13. We will take a 3-minute break. Be back with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. You're listening to Viking football on B93.